Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes.
Yeah.
Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us, the BLPA, on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. Hey, it's not that often that we get to do live shows on location at a place, but we're here in Binghamton, New York. Dan and myself. Dan, what's going on?
How we doing, boys? How we doing?
I'm doing good. You're doing good. Number one seed.
Bad.
Number one seed right there.
Oh, number one.
We're doing way better because it's 40 degrees today instead of butt-ass nut cold. But we're here in Binghamton, the Binghamton Pond Festival. Great tournament.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
It's been incredible. I go to a lot of tournaments, and this has been one of my favorite ones, maybe because I'm not running it, so I actually get to like hang out and see shit that's going on.
It's different.
It is different. It is different. There's been so much stuff that's going on. I mean, we're literally right here in the middle of championship ice maintenance. We're going to get ready to go into the playoffs, so we're going to come out and talk to a few people, a few characters that we've met along the way. But first, I want to ask your experience with the Bing Pond Hockey Fest, because I basically said, hey, here's the deal. I want to do a pond hockey tournament. And I don't think I'm spilling any beans here, but we want to do one here in Binghamton.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe I am spilling beans. I don't know.
Come on, bud.
But so Titus, who we'll hopefully have on here in a little bit, he basically said, well, come up and check it out and see if it's even a spot you want to do. And I'm like, bud, is there beer there? He said, yeah. And I said, is there hockey there? He said, yeah. I said, but that's the spot we want to do. He said, well, just come up and check it out and see if you like it. And I got here and we're playing hockey in the middle of the goddamn forest.
It's amazing.
And it's incredible.
You really can't say enough good things about it. Like, you know, I've played pond hockey before. We all have.
You got to talk into the mic.
There's a full functioning rink with a chiller here in the middle of the woods.
Well, I think that's been my only holdup about BLPA doing its own pond hockey tournament is I don't want to have to deal with the maintenance.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to make ice. I know how to make ice. You just freeze water. That's genius, right? But I didn't want to have to deal with keep up, and if it was too warm, I didn't want the ice to melt. Unbeknownst to a lot of people, it can be too cold to skate.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to deal with that. And then so when I met Titus, and he's like, well, we have a chiller, so the only thing that will affect is if it was colder than shit, which it was Friday. And so I was like, I'm in. I want to do something like this. And so there's some hurdles to jump for sure. Mm-hmm. But I think next year, 2024, we could be having the BLPA Winterfest out here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So tell people about your experience. I haven't gotten to play. I hurt myself before I left. Old man back. And I've just kind of figured.
Tell us how you hurt yourself.
I fell shoveling stuff.
Literally just fell. Not on the ice. Just fell.
I wasn't skating. It was icy, obviously. That's why I fell. And my back I'm at a point in my life. I'm a man. I'm 40, right? And I just realized that it takes me longer to heal. And I don't want to have to, I have a tournament in Savannah next weekend, like a draft. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to, just keep playing until I'm out for months. So I'm just like, let's just nip it in the bud. I won't skate. I'll just check things out. I'll keep score. I'll be the manager. And to be honest with you, I've led this team to victory 3 times in a row just standing on the sidelines. So this is a man full of morale, really.
Yeah, I mean,
big team guy.
It's Nicky coach this weekend. Kamisha's taking a back seat. Mm-hmm. He's coaching Team BLTA 3-0. 3-0 feels good.
Number one seed.
Number one seed, which is amazing considering we didn't keep score for the first half of the first game.
We didn't know we had to.
We did not know we were supposed to do that.
Did you know that? Oh, this guy knows.
Well, we learned a lot of the rules in our second game, which we did not know about in the first.
Well, in the third game, I found out that you can't, if you shoot from further than center ice, then it doesn't count as a goal.
Well, someone should tell the other team that because they were just ripping it.
Well, but they were ripping it and then out racing us to the puck and then banging it home. But we just shot and scored from there. That's the skill of our snipers out here on the pond. Listen, Jeff, that motherfucker don't miss.
Yeah,
right?
Well, he also was very excited when we were no longer in the top division. He's like, oh, there's no pressure. I'm getting drunk.
Well, here's what happened. Let me tell you what happened with that. When Team BLPA goes to tournaments, we don't have a set team.
No.
So we just say, whoever wants to come play, come play. We don't care what skill level you are. And so the guy that runs it, he's like, well, what skill are you? I'm like, well, we have one guy I know that he's a good hockey player. And 2 other guys I know are average beer league players. The other guys, I don't know who they are. Yeah. Never play with them, never whatever. He's like, I'm going to put you in A. And I'm like, I don't care. Okay, cool. And then he came back to me a few days later. He's like, hey, so you're saying you don't have a lot of skilled players? I'm saying we have one guy I know is skilled, 2 guys that are average beer leaguers, and the rest I have no fucking clue who they are. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move you down to C, and I'm like, okay. And he goes, I'm gonna move you to D, and I'm like, listen, I don't know if you understand this. Just give us the goddamn schedule, and then we'll come play. And
We just want to know what we're doing.
if we get our yams beat, okay.
It happens.
If we beat everyone, if we blown everyone out by 15 goals, then we'll just forfeit the championship games and go on our way. Like, we don't care. We're not here to.
It's okay to be the fun team.
It
You know,
is okay.
get those yams, those Chiefs clapped, and like I've been on a lot of those, and it's fine.
I really
you know?
want to normalize being the fun team at tournaments.
Yes.
To the point where I just think it needs to happen more. If you come to a tournament and you get your ass kicked, you don't got to throw fits. You don't have to go run and write a letter to the guy running the tournament telling him how's a piece of shit online. Yeah. You don't have to do that shit. You can just be like, you know what? Shit happens. We had a good fucking time.
Hell yeah.
And we just didn't win the games. And maybe next year we'll win all our games. Like, there was a team here that I was talking to. I wish I could find. I don't see him here. That they'd been here 3 years in a row or something.
Yeah, they didn't win a game, right?
And they didn't win a game.
Not one single game.
And they won all 3 this year. So it's like,
Good for them.
was it your team?
That's great.
No.
Did that, yeah.
Yeah.
Could
Nice.
have been others.
I'm
but
sorry. What's your name again?
Steve.
This is
from
Steve.
the BL Smoothies.
This is Steve from the BL Smoothies. And let me tell you a little bit about Steve. He came to me and he said, I got a bone to pick with the BLPA. And I said, I got it, motherfucker. I said, get up
use a
and let's talk
microphone. I
about
got
this.
that.
I know. I got you. Okay, so you have a bone to pick with the BLPA. Not me specifically, but I'll stand in front of it because I'm the commissioner of the BLPA. Tell me what your problem is with the BLPA.
Well, first and foremost, we're in upstate New York. It's blue cheese with wings. I just have to get that out of the way first.
Well, now anything you say has no relevancy to me anymore.
I've seen him eat blue cheese with wings. And
He's done it, and it wasn't that bad.
Listen, okay, let me tell you. In Oklahoma, we drink ranch for breakfast. We just do. It's a way of life. It's our culture, and for anyone to come and step on my culture is a piece of shit. I'm not. I know we're not there, okay? But what I'm saying is, I came to Buffalo, and I said I'm not going to step on their culture. Dan took me to Bar Bill. He got me blue cheese.
Good choice.
It was homemade, and it wasn't bad. But I would still pick ranch 100 times out of 90 to go on my wings. It's just, I'm sorry, it's what I like. I'm not forcing you guys to eat ranch. I'm just telling you you're wrong because you don't like ranch. That's all. And I'm not saying that you have to do it. You can stay wrong for the rest of your life. And at the end of your days, when you have to repent in front of Jesus Christ, you can say, listen, Lord and Savior, I've sinned. I forsake ranch for blue cheese. And he's going to forgive you. It says that right in the Bible, I think.
I haven't read every page myself.
Yeah. Well, me neither, but
it might be in there.
I'm going out
Who
on
am
a
I to
limb.
say?
He forgives. Is all I'm saying is he repents. Something about taking your sins as far from the east as the west, whatever. But I'm saying that you're wrong, but I'm not going to hold against you. That's the type of guy I am.
Well, in the Buffalo Testament, it does explicitly state blue cheese with your wings.
Okay, that
But
must be the Keem way home. What's the King Allen version of the Bible with the Buffalo Testament?
Yeah,
okay.
it's like the French Connection chapter or
yeah,
something.
I don't get
know.
that. I don't get that one.
But we can agree to disagree. That's fine. At least you respected the cultural traditions of Buffalo while you're up there.
That's what I'm here for.
And I'm no Buffalo fan. I'm a New York guy. But I do enjoy my time up there visiting the in-laws, and Bar Bill is the place to go. Free ads, sorry. But the other bone to pick, and I go back and forth on this all the time because there's something of a guilty pleasure with it when I log on to the BLPA Facebook page and I see all your live barn clips. And I see the bitching and moaning about this should have been a penalty and there's no place for this in the game. And it's a bunch of dudes penguin skating in some D League in some non-traditional hockey market like Oklahoma City.
We don't have live barn in Oklahoma, bud. Don't get ahead of yourself here, bud.
You might not even have barns down there. Well, you do
We
have barns, but they have
for
cows
sure.
and stuff in
And
them.
listen, I'm not throwing shade at my Oklahoma boys. We actually do have live barn. I just don't think it works. But we do have a live barn camera up there.
So it's like watching footage of car wrecks. You don't want to look. You can't look away. The comments kill me every time. It's just no one cares. No one cares that you think you got high sticked in your cage and didn't get hurt and nothing bad happened. And if somebody was super mad at you in a beer league game and you clipped the video, 20 seconds to cut out the part where you stuck a guy in the nuts, and then he came back after you and cross-checked you head first into a goalpost. Well, that's kind of fake news. Like, we should get the whole picture here.
Ding, 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 ding. For one, I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that people just go out to be dickheads on the ice. Now, are there exceptions? Can Bill have a bad day and just go two-hand someone because he's frustrated? Yeah, probably. But I don't think people go out and the stuff that I see on Live Bar, oh, this guy did this. I'm like, well, what did you do to him? That's always my first thought. What did you do to him? And they'll say, oh, it was nothing. I'm like, well, let's see the whole rest of the video. I mean, let's see it. And I'm not calling people shitbags that do that. I'm just saying you deserve to be called out. If you're that guy, you deserve to be being called out on this show right now. I'm not calling you out, but other people are.
Yeah, sure, I'll call him out.
But we're not going to stop watching them.
Yeah. It's like, don't stop submitting your crappy beer league footage.
But no.
But it's you're going to get a tidal wave of comments coming at you saying that, maybe you're not that good at hockey and you should look at it from both sides of the coin. After a few beers, decompress after the game, the adrenaline wears off and go, yeah, well, maybe I did slew foot that guy and he landed on the back of his head. And
100.
Maybe he had a reason to come and elbow me in the face. Like, it just happens. It's hockey.
I think if people would take that rule of thumb of don't post about it for 24 hours, I think we'd have a lot less interaction in the BLPA and a lot less live barn clips. Again, we're not saying stop submitting them. We love them. We're just saying that you can't get mad at us for judging you in our heads. And here's the deal. I've met people that post these live barn clips, and I have a prejudgmented opinion of them before.
Sure.
And that's not my fault. They did that to themselves.
Yeah.
And they're always different than what my preconceived opinions are.
There's how many thousands of members on that page right now?
23,005, 24, somewhere
You
around
don't know
there.
everybody's life story, and when the only knowledge of them going into it you have is their 5-paragraph synopsis of what just happened at the 9:30 skate on a Tuesday, and they're coming off as holier than thou and that they walk on water and that they shouldn't have been assaulted on the ice for whatever they did before the clip started.
Hey, I'm
Preconceived
with
notions.
You. Hey, let me ask you, and this is a good point. Do you think anything that happens on the ice should be able to be carried off the ice in terms of the assault? Like, should people be like, oh, this guy assaulted me on the ice, I'm going to press police charges?
It's hard to say as a blanket statement. I would say 99% of the time what happens on the rink kind of ends with that.
Yeah.
And you have people that run the leagues. You have officials that report back what they saw. You've got probably 20 guys that were out there that saw everything that can kind of corroborate a similar story. So, I mean, there's egregious stuff that leads to, like, severe bodily harm that wasn't somebody accidentally falling into the boards on top of somebody or following through on a shot and knocking somebody's teeth out. But you see it once in a while, and usually then, yes, it does get escalated. But most of this stuff, I mean, we've been at the bar afterwards with guys that we just had a beer league fight with, or, you know, we're hacking each other, getting thrown out, and you go to the room, you shower up, you have a couple beers, you wind down, and then you go, oh, that's right. Like, I've been on that guy's team 3 other men's league seasons, so
he's not that bad.
Why do we hate him? Yeah.
And then you go share beer, you break bread, and everything's forgiven.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I used to work for a large league, and multiple times I can remember, lawyers contacting the league and be like, well, this guy is pressing charges because he got a concussion on the ice. And basically it was a he said, she said. This guy thought he was being extremely dirty. The other guy thought, here's what the ref said, and we're like, I don't see it. Like, I just don't understand I got a concussion, I'm missing work because I was playing beer league, which I know is inherently dangerous, and now I'm going to progress it so far to get an attorney, when in essence all they probably did was accidentally run into you, or maybe they ran into you on purpose, but maybe you did something to get them there. And I just always wondered what other people's takes on were, what happens, when that kind of stuff. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Yeah, Dan, you had a story on this?
Yeah, actually, Pond Hockey Tournament in Buffalo. People are playing, sticks are flying. Like, the top division, teams are chirping each other a little bit.
Buffalo's full of wild boys.
I mean, we tend to go a little hard sometimes. That's kind of what we're known for. Guy gets hit in the face with a stick. Looks like a normal play. He goes to poke check and rides up a stick, hits a full, all front teeth, gone. There's blood everywhere. He's freaking out. We're playing. And next thing you know, the cops are showing up. Like, the fire department shows up. The cops are there. And I'm just looking around like, what's going on? And I'm talking to people like, oh, he called the cops because he thinks he was assaulted, that he did it on purpose. And I was like, What? The guy just like batters up into his face? Like, no, sorry, it didn't happen. One, the waivers tell you that things can happen, and they suggest to wear full face coverings in case of the game because it's hockey. Sticks are flying. Like sometimes it just happens. The thing is, like, you think it's just gonna get dropped there. We're like, oh, it's hockey. Things happen. Nope. There was apparently a lawyer present, and now there's a lawsuit against the player who hit him in the face, saying that it was aggravated assault and that he said he was going to do it. What's great is you talk about shitty Libarn clips. Well, there's a shitty Libarn clip. The guy went to poke, catch him like probably in the shins where the guy's stick is, and it just rides up and hits him in the face. That's it. There is that's what it was. It's a normal hockey play. Shit happens. First of all, if you wear nothing to protect your face, I think that's on you personally.
100.
But now the guy is suing him because he thinks it was aggravated assault. But the video, we've all seen it, and it's gone around, clearly shows it just rode up on the guy's stick and hit him in the face. It happened.
You know, things happen in the course of a game, and when it's happening to you, you think it's way more malicious or way faster or and it always turns out that it's not. And in that instance, it just seems like the only people that are going to make money in that situation are the attorneys. Unfortunately,
100%. Yeah.
And that's the shit part about it.
They saw a chance, and they're like, you should sue him.
Yeah.
Give me money.
And now he's doing it. So I don't know what to tell you. But is that your only gripe with the BLPA?
Yeah, I can't say that I don't enjoy following the page. You know, it is fun. It's fun to see what hockey looks like outside of our upstate New York bubble. I've lived all over upstate, so I've seen beer league hockey in Utica, Rochester, Buffalo, Binghamton, back home in like the Hudson Valley, and it's, you know, it's good hockey. It's not great. You know, some cities like Rochester and Buffalo, you've got more ex-pro guys and college players mixed in, so that's a neat experience to play with the guys that have really made it far in this game. But then you remember that there's a lot of places where it's still a new sport, and there's a lot of new-to-the-game rec players playing. And I'm sure in their heads when they're out there flying around their top speed, think it probably looks like watching the Anaheim Ducks or the Arizona Coyotes, and then they post their Libarn clips, and it's like at 1/10 of a 1/10 speed, and it is what it is. But it is good. You see people from all over the country, these tournaments you guys are doing. I hope you'll go to one day, whether it's here or someplace else, because it's neat to see how the game's grown just in my lifetime, and continues to get more people involved. It's just those ones that didn't get on the ice when they were kids and go up and learn all the unwritten rules of all the intricacies of, you know, what is just a hockey play and how just an innocent hockey play can knock all your teeth out, and understand all that. You know, it'll come with time. People will get it, and we'll all be better off for it.
Yeah, I think that's we're trying to spread that good word. I didn't start till I was in my 30s, right? So I'm kind of new to the game, but I did play competitive sports growing up, and I think you just you got to roll with the punches and realize that, hey, we're all out here for the reason to have fun, and we don't have to blame something when something accidental happens. But it is what it is. Keep sending in those Libarn clips. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna bring Titus over here. If you want to hand that back to Dan there, and Titus is gonna come over here. Titus is
he's the man.
He is the man. I mean, he's over here. And listen, I know what Titus does. I know what Titus does because I run a bunch of tournaments. This is on a different level though from our tournaments, because he's not only coordinating like the ice and all the stuff. He's out just running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, and so I'm going to bring him on now.
If you're digging the show, support us through patreon.com/BLPA.
The most greatest.
Titus, if you wanna hold that, you got to talk into the microphone.
What's up, guys?
This is Titus. Titus, I hope I didn't run any surprises for anybody, but on the intro, we just got excited and said we want to do a tournament out here, and I think it's going to happen. And we're going to talk to Titus about it a little bit later. So I want to bring you on first, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But first, just tell us a little bit about the idea behind the Binghamton Pond Festival.
So, Nick, we never really talked that much until, the last couple of weeks when we started kind of brainstorming about if we could work together. But pretty quickly, I realized that my whole point of what I want to do here seems very similar to what your group wants to do, right? We wanted to make an event here where our local hockey community that they didn't really know each other, right? You get in a locker room, and we had this conversation. You go in a locker room, bust balls on each other. You just have fun, get to know each other, but you don't really realize what you're each all about, right? So what we wanted to do here was to bring everybody together, let them get to know each other in a different light, help people understand just how embedded the hockey community is into our local community, right?
Yep.
You travel everywhere, right? Hockey touches everything, and whether it's kids, parents, anybody. And it was kind of like one of these things where I knew so many people that were in our community, involved in the hockey community, but I don't think other people knew, and hockey's taken, it's gone up and down, the rap, the culture lately, and all this stuff, and I get disgusted hearing any negativity about it. I know there's some challenges here or there, like every group, but I've met some of the best people that I've met through this sport, you know what I mean? And I kind of want to just help bring them all together, and have that camaraderie. So we kind of started trying to do that, and we're in upstate New York, so weather's complete disaster, right? So we try to do it on a lake, middle of winter, and you get 2 60-degree days, and it's kind of hard to play hockey in that, right? So we kind of were at a crossroads, and we had to make a decision. Do we jump in to the deep end here and try to do something above and beyond what other places do, or do we just fold it up and move on? And I tell people when they try to argue with me, I'm probably about the most stubborn person you'll ever meet. You usually won't win an argument with me, and I think that's kind of served us with where we are with this now. So. Even today, right? How warm is it right now? It's like mid-40s?
Yeah, mid-40s. Perfect day today.
Yeah, and our staff's out here right now. The park staff's out here right now, and they're flooding. They're laying water on our ice sheet, and it's freezing immediately. So, do we have everything perfect here? No. Nobody's got anything perfect here. But, our goal is to recognize the fact that if hockey players are coming to a tournament, they're coming for camaraderie, and they want to play hockey as part of that, right, Nick?
100.
Everybody could be here drinking, having a good time right now, but people want to be able to play hockey too. So we're just committed to trying to do everything we can to make sure people that come here can play their games and enjoy themselves. So
yeah, for sure. And like you hit on it when you said, we kind of have the same aligning visions and what we want to do, and that's what we do at our tournaments. It's the hockey's the hockey, right? You're not going to change the hockey, but what you can do is you can build a community around those events and make it to where hockey is actually secondary. Yep. And for me, when I look back and I say, what am I the most proud of what's been created, and it's that I can go anywhere in the United States and probably find someone that if I needed something, if I was in trouble, that I would have someone that cares about me enough to help. And so when I come and I see this, and obviously there's a lot of local teams here, Dan's from Buffalo, and there's a lot of Rochester teams, but the teams that I see here, they're interacting with each other. You can tell they care about each other. It is a community. You've built the community around here, and that's what the BOPA is about. It's connecting the world with sport and making it a better place by playing them.
So, when you guys be in here and we getting a chance to sit down and talk, and it was nice because right away our viewpoints and the purpose of the sport, this culture kind of match up, and that's a giant thing for me and everybody that's involved in this because we're very volunteer based in how we do this event, and you're not going to get volunteers to come and back a bunch of goons, you know what I mean? But it's funny exactly what you're saying. I was just talking with one of the local guys here, and he was just we missed this the last 2 years, and he's like, it's so nice because there's guys that they're here every year and we get to see them. You see friendships bud, and they might not see each other for a year, at a time, but then they see each other, they play a game against each other and have a drink afterwards and get caught up. How's your family? What's going on? What's life been like? And I think that's what everybody soaks up about this. Like you say, hockey's hockey, it's part of it, but those relationships, those interactions, those are what's really important,
100%. And I mean, like I said, I've been looking to try to do a pond. Everyone's been on me with the do a pond hockey, and it was always, I don't want to. It's not that I couldn't figure it out. I just didn't want to take the time, and I didn't want to take the risk to say, okay, let's go out to this fucking lake in the middle of the thing, and like you said, 60-degree days, and you're fucked, right? And so it almost seems like cosmic forces kind of working together here to make something happen. But I just wanted to tell you too, I run tournaments, and I know how hard they are, and I just want to take my hat off to you because this thing has been so smooth. There's been no issues. I haven't seen troublemakers. Usually when you mix beer and hockey, sometimes you get some trouble, right? But everyone here has been so chill, so cool. You got the barbecue. You guys can hear in the background. There's a guy literally with speakers on the back of a fucking truck in the middle of this thing, just fucking ripping out tunes. Like it's just it's a whole vibe, and it's in the middle of a forest too, which is insane. So so kudos to you.
Thank you. I mean, I think you guys understood it too a little bit when you got here. You know, like you can drop a rink in some unique spots. The NHL's done it right. The AHL's starting to do it again. But you got to have the right setting. And I think that we're very lucky with what we have here. I mean, the trees that surround this place kind of make it like just a full environment. You know, it's a different vibe where you're just in this isolated place away from all the noise and nonsense of the world, quite honestly. You can come out here and just hang out with some people and, you know, play a game that you love, watch a game that you love, see some people that you love, and just have a good time. And, you know, like Nick, I really appreciate the compliments. I mean, everybody involved in our organization appreciates them because the group that I have helping is just top notch, right? Without them, we can't do anything like this. And it wasn't always this smooth, man. Like we had some mistakes, we had some missteps, we had some learning curves, right? But, you know, we're in a good spot now where I'm extremely confident that we can help people have a good experience, right? I mean, even when you guys come in here Friday night, we had like minus 43 wind chills, right? Like, well, could we have played in that? Sure. We weren't going to, though. I don't want anybody to get hurt, right?
I would have said no, thank you. Yeah, but, you know, there's people, and I guarantee there's people that were like, we should fucking be playing in this thing.
There were guys that wanted to go out there so that they could have the video and be like, I'm that guy. You know, it's like, okay, you might go viral, but you will be that guy. But I don't need you in the ER, too, as part of this trip, right? Yeah. But, you know, it's all a learning curve and just trying to adapt to the situations that are presented to you and make the best decisions you can to try to help everybody get what they want out of their weekends, right? Have a good time.
Yeah, but the players are always first, and that's what you put too. And I'm glad you brought that up about your staff, because it's just like me, right? Like I would not be able to do anything without the people that help us, and we get the praise because we're like in front of it, right? And no one realizes how much the staff actually, like Dan and Kyle and Jeff, for me, that like on the background that have to deal with what they call Virgil, which is my little hamster brain that is always going.
We're in Virgil right now. You just can't see it.
I met Virgil the other night. I'm like, Jesus, what is this thing?
Yeah, and so the staff doesn't ever get the credit, and I'm glad you brought that out because your staff has been nothing but great. I've talked to all of them around here, and they buy into the vision, they love what they're doing, and they're happy to be a part of it. And that's on my side the same. Like my guys, they understand the vision, and that's why they're here, and that's why they're a part of it. So kudos to your staff too if they listen to this. You guys have rocked. You've been great. The only thing that could be better is if this, I don't know what her name is right there, but if Stacy pulls my name in that 50-50, then it'll be a 10 out of 10 weekend right here.
Oh, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, man. But between that and the Alex Tuck jersey and the other stuff that we got over here still to get rid of. Oh, good. I like it. I like that you're here today. Right? But yeah, I mean, you said it just right, Nick. I mean, like everybody wants to point at one person who's like the driver, if you will, or like I don't want anybody looking at my face and going, "That's the face of it," because it ain't a good-looking face. But like we can't do any of this without the help we have, and the help like you have is because people love your vision. They love what you're trying to push. Like I've got people here that are insanely dedicated to this event that are hockey players, and some that aren't hockey players or have become hockey, people, if you will, just by being involved in this because they got exposed to our hockey community and they went, these are good people. Like I like these people, right? And they've invested their time just top to bottom to help make it work. I mean, my wife and I, we had our second kid like 2 weeks ago, right? I wasn't even here for some of this stuff. And, my group, my help, they were phenomenal. Like I could not have to worry. And I mean, that's rare in today's, even at a job, you don't get that.
Yeah, 100%. Right? I understand that big time.
So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate you giving them a nod. They deserve it. I know it matters to them. So,
and there's someone wearing a velour onesie. Is that Jake? Is that Jake Glizzy?
No,
he's not Jake.
Where is Jake Glizzy? So we
played this morning.
We want to get Jake. The best thing about this is there's so many characters at this thing. Like there's a dude that fell in the fire a couple years ago. There's a guy that came up and just gave us a whole like synopsis on hot dogs and said that's all he eats is hot dogs, and he's gonna open his own hot dog cart and was giving it, and not just like run of the mill bullshit hot dogs, Nathan's with a fucking onions on top. It was like gourmet.
He says he works at a 5-star restaurant as a chef. I want to eat that hot dog.
Listen, even if he didn't tell me that part, he was so passionate about these hot dogs that if he wouldn't have said I'm a 5-star chef, I would have just said, just let me try your hot dog. Like, I don't know. Here's what I don't understand, Titus. Like, you have this guy, and listen, the barbecue here has been great. I just want to shout out foodfirebarbecue.com. Their food, like I've eaten there like 6 times in the last 2 days. I've had their dirty mac and cheese with pork. I've had their pork sandwich. I've had their chili. I've had their smoked wings. They're fucking insane.
Yeah.
But if
And
there's a
Buffalo Boy.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
those
there
smoked wings they're fantastic.
if Jay
That guy knows
Glizzy
what he's doing.
if Jay Glizzy is out here with a hot dog cart, I'm eating at the hot dog cart. That's just the way it goes.
Oh, Jake Lizzie left. I just texted him. He left.
Oh, this guy.
I mean, this guy's got hot dogs on the back of his jersey for his nameplate.
Yeah,
You know, like-
this guy is Mr. Hot Dog. Like pretty soon, it's just going to be Jay Glizzy brand hot dogs, and I'm here for it. I'm here for that. So you guys can come out. I mean, like I said, BLPA, we're trying to work with the Pond Fest to do our own weekend. But if you guys want to check out their weekend, bingpondfest.com, check them out. They sell out every year, so it's not like they're hurting for people. But if you want an experience that is top notch, I don't know. You can't even really expand too much because of just the kind of the everything you got going on out here.
Well, you know, Nick, part of what this conversation I think really turned into with you and I, as far as seeing where we can go with this, is like we have a lot of people that actually come to the 2 adult tournaments that we have, which is awesome. We don't want to squeeze them out or anything, but we're also in a spot where I know that there's certain events that it becomes like people are cut out, right? And
Yeah.
they can't integrate into that community. So like for us, we've got a lot of the Northeast crowd that comes here, which is great, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. But if we can help expose some of our normal people to people, you know,
A
that
bigger
are from
community.
around, yeah, and just help bring that whole community, that whole group back together on a different level. And why wouldn't we try to take part in that? Why wouldn't we want to do that with somebody that's got the same goal and viewpoint of the sport? And I mean, I know we keep using the term community, but I don't know if
That's what
there's
it
a
is.
better one,
Yes,
right?
it's
Is there a better term?
No, community. Well,
So-
we call it a cult.
Okay.
But soon I'm going to make people drink the Kool-Aid. But it's my Kool-Aid's beer, so it's not dangerous or anything. It is.
Well, but I mean, like, if we can help bring that and tighten that group together, and you know, it's not even just about our event, but people meet your guys and you guys and say, hey, you know, like, you're doing an event here. Well, maybe I'll go there now, and I'll meet some more cool people
Yep.
that we can go have fun with. I do have to tell you, Nick, though, I had people coming up to me and they were like, who the fuck are these BLP guys, right? Because they were like, I was just on their Facebook page, and they're talking about bringing ringer teams to these tournaments and stuff.
We didn't talk about bringing
Oh,
ringer teams.
no, there's a post on there. There's 2.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
Chicago, right? You wanted to get a ringer team put
Oh
together?
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, because in our bash
Oh,
bash
okay.
team, our divisions are ringer, heroes.
Oh, okay.
Ringer, heroes, and benders. And
That
so
makes sense.
It's so hard to get top
Okay.
level teams, right?
Sure.
And so I'm like, okay, we want a ringer, and I'm trying to get the ringers to come to my tournament so we can make a ringer division.
Okay.
So they're not in the other divisions.
That makes sense because I
Yeah.
had a couple of people going, are these guys gonna be assholes or what's their deal?
Yeah,
and I was
no,
like,
no.
no. They're pretty chill. Don't worry. Like
Yeah.
I've talked to them. They're pretty chill guys. Like it's not
no,
gonna be a problem.
We just wanted to name the division something different from other
Oh, no,
places.
that makes
and,
sense.
And so like I feel bad because like people are like, oh, I'm registered for a bender, so now I'm just a bender. I'm like, listen, it's not a.
We're all
it's just
benders.
it's just a term of endearment. Like it doesn't matter. And so yeah, that we were just trying to find. We wanted like a Chicago team to bring a ringer team. We wanted Pittsburgh. We wanted so that way they could come together and be in a ringer division, and we didn't have to worry about them in other divisions.
All right, that makes a lot more sense because I got the screenshot sent to me and I was like, wait, what? Like, calm down, guys. Like,
Everyone
we're
always
not
with the
bad people,
screenshots.
right?
right? Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
God, you
loves
guys know how
screenshots.
social is.
Yeah,
It's what it is,
but hey,
man.
don't worry. I know how social is. But we felt bad too because we like the first game it was close, and the second game it was a little. And we're like, are we being the dicks? But then like this last game is crazy because we were playing a team that we knew that played Dex, and we were probably a better team than them. But like we're up like 3-0, and then they scored 3 in a row, and then we scored 6 unanswered, and they scored 5 unanswered. And I'm like, holy shit! Like okay, maybe we're not being dicks. It's just the way pond hockey goes sometimes,
Well,
right?
and I think that's just more of a statement to just the structure of what we do because there's some people that come here and they go, these rinks are small, which they're really not that small. The nets are what they are, which the nets are like a 4-foot bar with 2 1-foot pockets on either
Yeah,
side.
pond hockey nets,
Yeah, so it's designed to be exactly what you're talking about where you're not playing in a game and 5 minutes in you're like, oh fuck, we're done, right? You know, and now it's a waste. It ebbs and flows, and it's, you know, can you figure out a little strategy here, how you communicating with your guys, you know, like whatever. And so like your whole game time is actually worth the time that you're out there having fun. You know, you're not like just done 5 minutes in.
And the score was wild. It ended up being like 19-14 or something crazy like that. And it's like, okay, cool. And those guys were cool. And like they're like, well, you guys are a better team. We know you guys are. And we told them what we did. And I told them on here, I was like, you were gonna put us in A, and I told you like I'm gonna drop you down. And I don't give a shit where you put us.
Yeah.
You schedule us. We're gonna come. If we get our yams beat, we don't care. If we kill everybody, we're just gonna pull ourselves out of the championship game. And it was pretty close. Like I don't think our dick for is anything. I think we got the 1 seed by one goal. I think.
Yeah, I think we got a challenge coming up. I mean, we have a goalie skating out.
He's got goalie hands.
He's got goalie hands.
I didn't know he pulled off a couple toe jacks. I'm like, Senza, what are you doing,
he
bud?
He pulled off one.
That's all he needs.
And he was excited about it himself. And then fumbled the puck right after.
Well, shit happens. What are you gonna do? Don't talk about his negative. Pump him up, bud.
Who's got the better toe drag though? You? Or the
no,
goalie?
not me. The goalie for sure.
The goalie?
Yeah, it's the goalie for sure. I don't do it. I'm a north-south player. I don't do any of that side to side.
Toe drag a player.
Just dump. I don't chase.
I've seen Mike toe drag a player. Like they're coming in. Like I know. Like I'm playing with Mike like 15 years at this point. So I know like if it's going all the way down, he'll play it. I'm not going to skate back for it. Someone starts forechecking him, and he toe dragged it right between his legs, his goalie pads and everything, and then passes it up to me.
Yeah,
Mike's got hands.
Yeah, Mike's got
but
hands.
He's better with a goalie stick than a player stick.
100%. So, other than that, Titus, is there anything else you want to tell our folks before we get out of here?
I just wanted to reiterate what you brought up earlier. Just thanking everybody that's involved in this. Like not even just this year, but just to even get us this year. Thank anybody that's going to get involved in the future. Thank you guys for traveling. I mean, it's not a small flight to come from Calgary here just to check this place out.
It's not an easy flight, but it's not an easy flight, but it is an easy flight because there's an airport here. Yeah. I know you said that it's not a big airport, and it's not a big airport.
No,
but I'm telling you, we can get here and we can make something really fucking cool here. And I think that people are going to want to come out, and we're going to have people that say, I know I live in Texas,
sure,
but I want to come experience it. And listen, I'm from Oklahoma. I didn't get to experience this when I first started playing hockey. Now I take it a little bit for granted because of where I live. I live in Calgary, and I can just go out my back door and play in the wintertime. But I don't have this. Like I don't have it in the middle of a thing with it's refrigerated. I know when I go, I'm going to be able to play no matter what because I've had pond hockey tournaments canceled. I remember Montana, they canceled it the day before. Yeah, they canceled. We're literally getting ready to drive up, and they're like, sorry, we're not going to be able to play. So we just met, hung out, and drank and whatever. But this is the place. I think if we're going to do one, this is where it's going to be.
Two random-ass things. You bring up Texas. We had a kids team fly up here, like an 8U team fly up here for our kids weekend 2020. And, there's a lot of, like, what are they doing coming up here, like, stuff like that. And they had a blast. Like, they were like, this is one of the most unique experiences we'll have with our kids here, right? And then, to your other point about these kind of events canceling, like, we lived it, right? Like I said, that's why we did what we did. But, it's funny because there's a team here this weekend that was supposed to be at another tournament. And it was supposed to be last weekend, right? Well, they didn't have ice, so they pushed it back to this weekend. So the team emails me, and they're like, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. You can give our spot up if you want to, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't really feel right doing that. You guys paid for it. So I just kind of let things sit in limbo because I can still read a forecast, right? And I'm like, I don't know how they're going to be playing.
Yeah. And
then they end up messaging me on Wednesday, and they're like, yeah, we kind of fucked up, right? Like, we understand if you won't let us, but is there any way we can come up? I'm like, yeah, you guys can come up. We'll get you back in the schedule, and they came up here, and it's not patting yourself on the back, but it's just another demonstration that we just have a different setup here.
Yep.
Like, it's been a pain in the ass to get what we have and make it work, but it's here now, and so if we can help use what we have here to help other people get an experience and have a good time, like, we're going to do that, right?
Awesome. So the one question that I think we got to pose to our group, if we're going to do one here, and if we do one, it's going to be the same time of year, January, February, right? Because you have a small window that we can do this. Do we want to go, and Dan, this is a good question that you can do we want to go 4-on-4 or do we want to go 3-on-3? Like 4-on-4, the problem is like it's not a small sheet of ice, but it does get crowded. I think 3-on-3 it could be the way to go.
I prefer the 4.
Do you? Why?
Well, to be fair, like I'm normally a defenseman, so 3-on-3, like do you know how much skating that is for me? Like
he uses the term defenseman loosely. He's usually below the other team's goal line.
Deck's defense is different.
He's actually he's a stay away defenseman is what he is actually. A stay away. He stays away from
Listen, my normal defense, and Mike, and literally like, they were sitting there drinking, and now I don't know where those assholes are.
I think they probably, they're by the fire.
They're over there by the fire. They can all attest. It is very rare that I enter the offensive zone.
Well, now it's all offensive zone, right? So
yes. And how many goals do I have? less than the goalie.
I saw you finish one though. Yeah, you got one, and we.
And I had to think about it
and
too
we-
because
yeah,
I was like,
we-
"Oh, I'm gonna rip." I was like, "Whoa!" I ripped a few and then just gone freaking post on these little things.
He literally skated it up and just drug it right into the net. Like it wasn't even a shot.
Yeah,
And
I have
we-
like
'cause
7 goals and he's got more. All right.
the go- yeah.
Yeah, he is. And you know what? To be fair, he likes to do this thing, and we did it at charity tournament back home where like if he skates out and the pass is coming to me, he'll pick it off. He'll pick it off. We'll be on the same team, and he'll pick it off so he can try to get the point, or just
I like
so
that.
I can't have it.
I like that. I like that. But I think that's a good question. 3-on-3 and 4-on-4. I know you're doing 4-on-4, so maybe 3-on-3 makes ours a little bit different. But it's also less if you're going to travel. Because we're going to bring teams from elsewhere,
Yeah.
right? It's less people to travel with because you can do 6 instead of 8, right?
Well, so what we've done, we actually do right now. We do a 3-on-3 tournament and a 4-on-4 tournament because we're trying to differentiate our 2 tournament weekends. But one of the things that I've noticed is, the longer the boys are staying at the park, enjoying some beverages and whatever, maybe the legs get a little jelly. They clip a rut, they take a digger, they go, "Who the hell just tripped me?" One of those things. So, I'm turning into a little bit more of an advocate for 3-on-3 just for a little bit more space. But even then, we allowed the teams to still go up to 8 to have 8 guys on the roster. And right, well, and we also we had guys that the first year we did the 3-on-3 that they were there and they were like, "Yeah, we're only going to take 6 guys because we want to get our ice time." And they went, "Oh fuck, was that a mistake?" They got halfway through and their legs were done. So there's just more skating.
I've done 3-on-3 tournaments on a 60% sheet of ice, and people say it's more skate because you stop and start so much more, right?
These guys walking without skate guards through the rocks to the rink right now. This guy doesn't even have skate guards.
Their Tuscan Raider jerseys are sweet, so I'm gonna let it fly.
Yeah, let's let her slide. They're in the playoffs here.
He is about to slide. He's literally being helped.
Yeah. They're in the playoffs. They're ready to roll. Just let's see what they can do. So, but anyway, other than that, Tyus, again, kudos on the event.
Thanks, Nick.
I hope we can do something really fucking cool, and I think we will be able to. So be on the lookout for that, and also just check them out at bingpondfest.com. We've had a blast up here. It's all great people. We haven't seen any people that have just been dicks. And you know our rule. Number 1 rule, don't be a dick. Number 2 rule, don't do cocaine to get us kicked out of the events. And so if you can do those, we'll be good. So Titus, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Dan, thanks for filling in for us. And hey, guys,
Anytime.
be good or be good at it. Hey, let's go win a ship, Dan.
Oh,
be good or be good at it.
We're doing it.
We're not winning it.